Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirits. Welcome home. This reading today is about how your luck is changing, a change in fortune that is coming for you. So let's start with pile number 1. We have Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, and Scorpio. Your card is this Wheel of Fortune. Okay, for pile number 2, we have Gemini, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Capricorn. Your card is Lakshmi, the Wheel of Fortune. For pile number 3, we have Leo, Virgo, Aries, and Cancer. And this is your Wheel of Fortune card. Okay, so I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the fortune card, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, this is your Wheel of Fortune card. And the Wheel of Fortune is, of course, changes for the positive usually. So whatever has been happening up until now, things are going to shift. But it is a very positive card. I believe that the energy of this card for you today is more about thinking that there are no coincidences and that things are exactly as they are meant to be. And also that acceptance brings a certain peace of mind that I feel like you really need right now. And that is about your consciousness also developing and growing and expanding on why things happen and the purpose, the meaning of all of this. Okay, so let's start with a rune. So what is this change in fortune for you? What is it about? Okay, so we have the Aya's rune. And this is about death and resurrection. So new beginnings, great shifts. Also about connection. Maybe the connection that you make between events, like this happened. Maybe you realize that there's a connection between two things that you thought weren't connected. Okay. So what is this change in fortune about for pile number 1? Do we have anything else? Wow. Okay. That's a lot of cards, but let's go with the flow. Okay. Okay, we have the waxing gibbous moon, increasing in air, flowerbud stage with promotion. And then we have the 13th moon mansion with altar. Very interesting. 8th moon mansion, the Knight, and Gaia. So there's something similar in these cards, so there's a connection. This reading is about connecting the dots. I feel like that. So full moon in water, flower stage, and the keyword is realization. It can also mean achievement. Okay, so this is the first quarter moon, increasing in water, leaf stage, sorry, and the keyword is choice. Okay. Let's get on with the reading and then I'll see which dots you have to connect here. Choice and realization. Maybe you'll see how your choices up until now have led you here, and you get this like view of how things seemed like they're almost like planned. Maybe you actually realized that you planned something, but you forgot about that plan. So when things started happening, you weren't really connecting the dots. Okay. Mercury in Virgo with caution. Sun in Aquarius with idealism. Mars in Capricorn with authority. Mercury in Leo with drama. And Venus in Cancer with birth. Interesting. So Venus in Cancer with birth and Gaia seem to have a bit of a similar vibe to me in this reading, because it is about your creation. It is about the things that you are materializing, your ideas. So which ideas are coming into fruition for you and which you might want to delay, postpone? I'm hearing like, not now. Not now. So it feels like a change of fortune comes with the awareness that things are meant to be and that you're not missing anything, or that you're not really, there's no real blockage. The things are going as they should, that the process of creation is ongoing, and that whatever happens, the choice in consciousness that you make of being sure, like, no, this is my mission, or this is my purpose, the objective is this, and I am going to accomplish. This is not like negotiable. I am not, because 13th moon mansion is also about you receiving feedback and being too conditioned by it. There is hope for things to happen, but at the same time, you're still conditioning yourself with other people's words, other people's ideas. It's like a cloud. So she has her hair, but she also has like a cloudy hair. We don't understand if that cloud is a part of her or if it's something else that is hovering over her head. And that doubt creates a feeling of insecurity and uncertainty. And I feel like you have to choose in every single moment, you have to choose this fortune. And this is something that is given to you. It's a blessing. It's your right. With Awas, I feel like you have to release a fear of that judgment will condition everything in a way that limits you forever, or that creates an environment that is so maybe even polluted. You have drama, and then you have that very dark cloud over her head that we can't really tell if it's hair or if it's something blocking her head, her crown, her connection to spirit too. So that connection might also be about having faith, having this certainty of your divinity also. It's about authority here. And you defending your ideas also has something to do with owning that space. And I see like that change is happening in every second. So until it becomes a habit. And altar is also about ritual. So something there are certain rituals that are in place right now that I believe are not really serving your purpose because you're defending yourself. So in order for this creation to be materialized, you have to develop different rituals and different habits. And one of those habits would be this choice. So when faced with drama, confusion, that dark cloud, you have to choose every single second. And you have to hold on to something very powerful that gives you that animates you like that gives you that energy, because you have authority and idealism. So this can be your own power, this can be your own faith, your connection to the divine. Two of Wands, the choice. So that emphasis on choice. Strength. And having that determination and the stamina also to persevere and to repeat it and to do it again until it is like a program, until it is intuitive, until you don't have to think about it. The Lovers, choice. And until it manifests as a bigger choice, maybe. So maybe this is also happening. Many small choices along your way, along your path, that seem unrelated, and that's why you have also the connection. So connecting the dots. Many different choices are going to accumulate, are going to have this like climatic event. And in that moment, you'll have to make a choice that I believe you will see as very life-changing. You will see as life-changing, and it's a choice that might open that connection to spirit too. Okay. 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Wands. 3, master number. This reading is a lot about synchronicities too, and following these connections, these clues. So I would like to ask you to, if you have any idea of what this yantra here is, because I am a bit confused. I have a lot of doubts regarding the shape of this yantra. So if any of you could help out with that, I would love to know, because I feel like there's something about the connection between these two cards. Of course, the Lovers is about choice. It's also about choosing the divine, choosing the highest ideal. You also have idealism here, choosing your highest, most valued outcome. And the Three of Cups is about authenticity. It is about sharing good times also with people, maybe a collective. There's something here about a collective, getting recognition from a collective with authority and idealism. And also maybe the yantra might clarify. So if you can help me with that, because I searched for information about it, but it was a bit messy, possibly contradictory, so I don't want to make any mistakes. So maybe you can help me. I would love to know in the comment section. Please leave me some information if you can. Okay, so there are a lot of synchronicities happening. There are a lot of strange connections between events, between your decisions. Like you make one decision that is related to, I don't know, your home life or your daily life, and then suddenly that decision comes up later on related to your career or to a relationship. So there's something here about things connecting with each other in an odd way, or in a way that will surprise you. So I feel like you are going to see that those connections can be also that feedback that you need. That is also going to protect you from outside influences and from that confusion, that cloud, that dark cloud. Oh, so you have the Star and the Eight of Pentacles. But I feel like you do this really well. Like you are already quite conscious about, it's like you're already conscious about your own power. You just need to develop the ways to how do I say this? Like imprint it. Imprint that power into the things that you're doing. Because it seems like it's a bit, it's like at the moment it's very compressed, and it's not less, it's not any less, it's very powerful. Your willpower, your personal power is very intense but very compressed. And the way it releases that pressure is by imprinting it into things outside of you, or situations or relationships. It's like it needs action. The Emperor. So I also feel like you need to be in situations of authority for that power to fully manifest. So it seems like all these choices are leading to a moment in which you will choose that path, that you will be the leader of something, and that is the greatest manifestation of your dreams. The Devil. But there's a lot of temptation. There's a lot. It will test your character, maybe. It will test you somehow. Maybe there's like a shadow element to this. It is also about the routines, right? It is also about those habits, those little choices that we make in our day-to-day lives. Four of Arrows. Eight of Cups and the King of Cups. So to me, this is saying that in order for you to tame those demons, let's say, or to tame those temptations, to drive them away, or to at least have peace of mind, have some sort of agreement, like a sort of peaceful agreement with those patterns, so as to not let them take over your life. It feels like there's some sort of emotional awareness that needs to happen. And it is because there's some sort of test. Okay, let's see. It feels like that moment is that moment of choice, that moment when you will resist the temptation to do something. Okay, so Queen of Cups, Pages of Staves, Page of Cups, and the Judgment. Right. Perfect. So there's that yantra again. So it feels like in the end you can't really escape this. This is meant to be. And I feel like one of the characteristics of the situation is that your inner world becomes somehow public, or somehow very much exposed. And that is why you coming to terms with your addictions, flaws, I don't know, some sort of habit that might not be, maybe it's not a source of inspiration, a source of pride. Maybe there's something that you don't want to be, you don't want it to be shown outside. But I feel like things are much more exposed than you think. Even like your feelings, like, It feels like it's a bit of a chaotic moment. In a chaotic moment, you'll make this decision, but something is seen. So the outside sees something. The outside world sees something about you. And what's interesting here is that they don't see, well, you are seeing them seeing you. So this is your point of view. So what they see isn't what you see. That's what I'm figuring out. So as long as you are at peace with yourself, it doesn't matter what other people see. And this is a cliche, of course, but I feel like this reading is a lot about that. And is a lot about you choosing the right path for you, while holding this as a great defining feature of consciousness itself, is that each one of us has a point of view. We have our consciousness. Of course, there is a collective consciousness, and we can access it. But still, when we interact with each other, we are bound to this, I wouldn't say the body, because there are many bodies, but we are still bound to certain rules. And it feels like this whole experience is an encounter with the defining features of those rules. And you're trying to understand how this works so that you can be at peace when you interact. Because there's a lot of this dichotomy here between the inside and the outside. Your creation, the things you protect, and also what other people expect from you. You have promotion. So there's the outside and the inside. And it feels like the altar here with promotion, there's a lot of weight on the other side. There's too much weight on the other side. And even that might trigger a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of nervousness that might trigger habits that you don't enjoy, things that you don't like doing. Maybe you see them as an obligation. There's a lot of pressure coming from the outside, but actually it's like a bomb that you will diffuse. And it feels like it's during this kind of a chaotic moment. Maybe there's some sort of mishap, like you make an appointment with someone and they miss that appointment, and you get maybe a bit angry or a bit frustrated with them. Or maybe it's more than that. Maybe there's a group of people and that confusion is more like in this group, there's some sort of chaotic behavior that comes out of a situation. I can't really see how it is. I just see people like, but what did she say? Oh, she said that. Oh, what did he say? He said he would be here, blah, blah, blah. And there's this confusion. And in that moment, there's something arises from that moment that and then you can clearly see, oh, but so that's how it works. So I was worrying too much about this and that, but in reality, this is not important at all for my development, for my growth. I just have to focus on this. And it feels like it's about you being the leader, being the most responsible person, the one who kind of owns the moment. So that change in fortune comes from this like accumulation of decisions, small, tiny moments. And then there's this moment. So this is the moment where everything kind of comes together and you see how the dots connect. And you also see why people interact in a certain way, like it clicks. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. This is your fortune card. And here in the card we have Lakshmi, who is of course the goddess of abundance in all forms. So material abundance, of course, but also spiritual, emotional abundance. It feels to me like you're invited by this moment in this card and this entity, this beautiful goddess, to see the universe and life as generous and to expect good things out of life. Okay, so let's get you a rune and see what is this change in fortune about for you. Okay, so this is the Legoose rune, and it's about maybe something mysterious. It's about healing, intuition, dreams. It's about the subconscious also. So maybe your luck will change with you also engaging with your subconscious somehow. Let's see. Okay. And this one. Is there, okay, yes. We have Isis. The sword with 17th moon mansion. And the 20th moon mansion with the precipice. Full moon in fire, flower stage, and the keyword is recognition. This is the last quarter moon, decreasing in fire, fall stage, and the keyword is opposition. We've been having some readings that are about competition. I remember that. I get the same energy here. And I also feel like you can change the forces that oppose you and that are antagonizing you by tuning in and fine-tuning your subconscious to look at the generous aspect of that. What is that situation giving you? Okay. What is this change in fortune? Okay. So it's like there's a great opportunity and a crisis for you in a moment of crisis. Venus and Libra with indecision. It's interesting because precipice is about a decision that you might regret. And then you have indecision. Moon in Cancer with friendship. Moon in Aries with protection. Mercury in Taurus with resistance. Jupiter in Gemini with bluff. Saturn in Scorpio with inheritance. Okay. I feel like this is about that moment. So maybe this is a specific person. Feels like this is a specific person that kind of has this. It's like they have a very special place in their heart for you. But in a way, that's more like competition. It's like you're very special to them, but you're competition. And I feel like you have maybe defended something that was important to you, but you have created opposition with that. Because it's like you're proudly standing for your beliefs or for whatever you wanted to defend. It can even be something like a legal matter, a court situation, not necessarily, but it can be. It's just like coming out to defend something that's really important to you. Isis is also about integrity. So it's also about you being truthful to yourself, being wholesome, not not living like half-heartedly. You throw yourself into something. But with that, it's like you created the opposite. You created the opposite in someone. You created some sort of resistance to the things that you stand for in another person. The Sun with the zodiac sisters. Three of Swords. Excuse me. So there's something here about sisterhood. When I said the zodiac sisters, there's something important here. Maybe there's something to do with sibling rivalry, maybe, for some of you. Not necessarily, but Two of Pentacles. I feel like this is halfway. And the Prince of Swords. These two. Magic with Isis. Again, we have Isis twice in the reading. And the Eight of Swords. You have subconscious energy, a lot of subconscious energy in this reading. And it feels like magic is operating on that level. And it's keeping someone stuck. And I don't think it's you. I think that someone is hiding from you or hiding something from you. It also feels like this is a long, like ongoing situation. It doesn't feel like it's something new. So it's an ongoing situation. Something is going to change because something is happening in the subconscious realm. Maybe for both of you or for all of the people in this situation, there's a lot of subconscious energy. There's a lot of transformation there. And I feel like you have defended your territory, your space very, very well. It seems like you're very wholesome. You're very whole, okay? But it seems like now some shift is needed or something is changing. Princess of Staves. Tara with beginnings. Queen of Swords. And Queen of Cups. So yeah, it feels to me like there's a lot of integration happening. It's like all the powerful elements are coming together and are integrating, and they're still in the subconscious realm. This is something that is happening. It's very invisible. It's completely invisible. But it's happening. Things are changing. And I also feel like it's quite fast, although someone is going to be more limited in their... Someone is going to have a more limited life. It's like their movements are restricted. Their movements are restricted. 3 of Cups. Movement, Rhiannon. And this is you. So you have to, so you'll have to move more frequently, and you'll have to move more because this person isn't really moving. It's like you have to move for them. King of Cups. So it's like you have to hold something together emotionally, spiritually too. And in the real world, in the seen world, you'll have to move more. I don't know what this means. This is so, it's very precise. So at the same time that I'm just using very simple words that mean very simple things in life, like movement, like driving from one place to another, or just, catching buses, or just movement. Okay, walking, running, movement. There's movement. And there's another person that isn't really moving. They're more limited. So it is very practical, but this is the practical dimension of it. But at the same time, the core of what is happening and the truth of it is all in the subconscious. Okay, so what is this bond about? What bonds you to this situation or this group of people or to this person? What is your mission here? Temptation, Nyaya Loro Kidul. 8 of Cups. And the 7 of Pentacles. So I feel like you restricted your interactions with this person or the situation. Very, it's a powerful restriction. But are they going to be even more restricted or something? Is it 8 of Pentacles? Clarify the 8 of Swords. 6 of Cups. Wow, this is really... it's quite confusing. It's also paradoxical. So this ended up being one of those readings where one thing creates the opposite, creates its opposite, and you navigate those two things. So now I understand the 2 of Pentacles here and the Sun and the 3 of Swords. So it's like interacting with a very painful situation, but because the truth is coming out, it's better, it's easier to, I don't like the word endure, but it's easier to deal with something painful if it's truthful, if it's wholesome, if it's with integrity and honesty. And the way you did that, it was so powerful that it created the opposite reaction in another person or a situation, a group of people, that they tried to maybe directly oppose your truth. So it's like, no, this person isn't saying the truth. This is a complete lie. And because they denied everything about you, they also end up denying the truth itself, because you were in line with truth. But maybe it was like the way you communicated and the way you decided to do things for them was, from their perspective, was very rash, very so irrational. And it's like you're being irrational, you're being too dramatic, you're attaching meaning to things that's meaningless. No, that doesn't mean that. So it's like a bit of gaslighting, okay? But in that gaslighting, it seems like they ended up gaslighting themselves. So they created so much resistance to you that they end up creating resistance to truth itself, because it's like they don't want, they're limited, they're very limited in their response to the world. And because they're rationalizing, they rationalize a lot, and they don't want to give in to, because it seems like so they weren't able to engage with truth. It's like they're not able to engage with the world fully, in a wholesome manner. And that, so that it's like a cover-up that needs like constant work and tending, and it's very draining, and it limits them in their action, and the scope of their action is really, really limited. So it's like they're only able to socialize or to talk to people who understand that very narrow avenue, okay, of connection that they have. Like, it's like they have a very small, very minute bandwidth, okay? So actually for you, this is okay. It's like you're fine with this, and this is really the change that is happening, is that you're realizing that decision that you made to face the truth is creating a sort of magic environment around you that enables you to be constantly very good at representing truth. So you're moving, you have very like a wide range of opportunities, and you have movement, you have the flow, okay? You have that flow and pleasure doing things. And this other person or this situation is getting narrower and narrower and smaller and smaller. So I feel like also this, witnessing this for this is a very specific reading, so maybe it won't resonate with some of you. That's okay. Maybe the next reading. So this, seeing this happen, I feel like is going to also release a lot of subconscious energy for you. And it's going to make you realize the powerful magic that you did, how much you have healed in comparison with this person or situation, and how it's opening up opportunities for you, and it's limiting this other person because you dared to speak the truth when it wasn't popular. That's what I'm saying here. You dared to speak the truth when it wasn't popular, when it wasn't the pleasant thing to say, and you dared to also face the consequences of that with integrity. Like I'm I am available to receive the feedback, okay, of the environment, but also of you in this case, you, the group, or you, the person. But it seems like they weren't ready for that. And they kind of doubled down. So it's like they're stuck with their own gaslighting. And if they don't change this around, they'll be more and more limited in their scope of action, and you will be growing and expanding and moving and working and flowing, doing the things that you like doing, and you also get to have this cohesion in your personality, this alignment with your subconscious, with the divine, and with your material reality also. Very interesting reading. The change of fortune comes by you realizing this. It's like you can enjoy something more because you realize how much you have healed, because you get to see how others have not, unfortunately. And it's not because you didn't give them your hand. You didn't extend, you extended them your hand, and you wanted them to be a part of your reality, but it's their choice. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. This is your fortune card. And so regarding a change of fortune and change in luck for you, this card to me is speaking about navigating uncertainty. So navigating uncertain times. It also feels like there's a lot of, I would say, consciousness streams that you have access to. I'm really drawn to this flowy shapes actually. Different shapes, different types of wavelengths or waves, wave shapes. And we don't understand if they're flowing away from the wheel or towards the wheel. So there's something about that movement. Let's see what the rest of the reading looks like. Let's get you a rune. Okay. So we have the Yera rune. Yera. Wow. It's interesting because it's actually similar to the Wheel of Fortune. So it is about cycles, endings and beginnings. It is about harvesting. It's a bit like karmic energy. Okay, let's see what else. So what is this change in fortune about for pile number 3? 18th moon mansion with sacrifice. And the 9th moon mansion with emperor. Okay, beautiful. So we have the waxing gibbous moon, increasing in fire, flower bud stage with individuality. Again, the waxing gibbous moon, increasing in air, flower bud stage, and the keyword is promotion. So it's, maybe this is a timing a timing cue here. It's also about like something that is about to happen because it's very near the full moon. So it's just before the full moon. And then we have the first quarter increasing in air, leaf stage, and the keyword is adaptability. Okay. So because you're starting with individuality and you also have a lot of like service cards with sacrifice and the emperor, it is about empathy and offering help to others. It's also, so sacrifice is also about dedicating, devoting yourself intensely to something or someone. It feels like there's some like a message there because you also have the Yera. Yera is cycles ending and beginning, harvesting. It can be about rewards, also getting rewards for your efforts. It's planting the seed and waiting for it to grow. And it seems like it's like things are advancing with a specific pace, and I'm going to get there. I just need a bit of confirmation. So what else do we have? Wow, these are a lot, but let's go. So Moon in Libra with companionship. Mars in Leo with egotism. Mercury in Gemini with excitement. Saturn in Aries with risk. Moon in Sagittarius with optimism. And Venus in Cancer with birth. Because you have the Yera rune, this can also be about fecundity. And with the cycles here, like things have their own cycle. Maybe you have opportunities coming in. So it feels like those streams that I was talking about, streams of consciousness or of streams of maybe timelines, like different timelines. Different timelines. It seems like the wheel is sucking them. So to me, like now I see like more of the magnetic aspect of the wheel. And also it seems like maybe you're dealing with some people. You're dealing with people's egos, or your ego is being triggered by other people. So it seems like you're going to decide to change a situation. And that change will also require you to adapt. So you decide to change, but then you have this period of adaptation to that change. It can seem like a bit of a gamble, a bit of a like a risk-taking situation. But optimism is the key because it feels like it's the way you choose the right timeline. The way you choose the right pattern is by matching the wave frequency of the timeline that you want. So it seems like you're both working with natural cycles, you're working with cycles. You're trying to match a cycle. So it's like you have your own pace and there's this bigger wheel and you want to catch that movement. And there's also this group of people and the ego. Very interesting. It's a very complex reading. Let's see what this is about. Really. 2 of Wands. Nine of Cups. Okay. 2 of Swords and Ace of Swords. There's also something here about resetting something. Like hitting the reset button on something. Going back. Because you have 2 waxing gibbous moon. And then you have the first quarter. So it's like something gets revised. No, it's like, no, we have to stop that. We'll change this. We will adapt to this other situation. We go back to the beginning. It's very complicated reading. It's like there's a lot that's happening, and that big change, it requires you to adapt to many different circumstances or many different types of energy, even people. 7 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Cups. So this is the reset. I feel like this is about you thinking that, no, I wasn't doing things right. I will reset. I have to go back. And it feels like a risk. Okay? So it can be both. It can be one of these two. It can be that you were very much focused on yourself and your individuality, and then you had to focus on something else or someone else, and then you have to devote yourself to a situation or to another person, and you end up forgetting yourself, or the reverse. So you're now devoting yourself to someone else or a situation, and now you have to become more of an individual, more autonomous. You have to give something up for something needs to change here. So it can be one way or the other way, but both of the situations imply that you need to give up something, and that you might feel like at times you might feel like you're failing, like you are failing to do something. Because you're still with those settings, okay? Your psyche is still stuck in the mode that came before. Tower. So maybe this is the moment. The Star. And this is the correct order of the cards. So after the Tower falls, you see the Star. In a very dark moment, you see the Star. And the Sun. So there's no moon, just the Sun. Which is actually our star. It's the star that regulates life on Earth. So maybe you're regulating yourself with our star. 6 of Wands. the Prince of Discs or Pentacles. The Fool. And the Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's get these cards also because they're peeking. Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, and finally Three of Swords. Wow. This can lead to a conflict. So there's someone who's going to be very disappointed. And they're going to show you that. They're going to, I feel like they're going to speak of it. They're going to say, they're going to tell you that they're very disappointed, and you're going to feel their pain. Because there's a lot of empathy and there's a lot of space for the other here. The Knight of Swords. But it will also be very quick. That's what I'm seeing. So it's like, it's a very intense situation, and there are very intense feelings here because you have a lot of cards of intensity. Sacrifice is also about emotional intensity. But it also feels like the advice here is to detach a little bit from that drama. Although you might feel it, you can get to a point when you step away and you work on it on your own. Because it doesn't feel like you're supposed to be involved in this. Eight of Swords. And just clarify this here. The Magician. So it feels like a specific person has a lot of say. They have a lot of weight, intensity. They intensify things. And it seems to me like they're developing an ego that is inappropriate for the situation. So it ends up being like you're devoted to something or a situation or someone, and that person starts to take you for granted. They assume that you'll always be there, and once you start to detach, they might be angry and they react, and you try to make things better, but I don't feel like that's your job at the moment. That's not your job. Your job is to develop a healthy ego boundary with this situation. Because it also feels like you are sowing the seeds for something bigger in the future. And it is about the growth of this relationship and how it should develop in a healthy manner. So I feel like this person has a lot of, they interfere too much with your energy. And they are developing a type of attachment that isn't healthy with you. And it can feel like there's a bit of how do we say, blackmailing? Yeah, like a bit of a blackmail situation here for some of you. And it might feel like there's the risk of ending everything, or of ruining everything, of ruining the person if you leave. But that's not fair, okay? That's not fair for anyone. It feels like you're taking a risk by developing more of a detached perspective, but it's actually very important, because it seems to me like you have a job to do that's also very important. And it's important for a lot of people, not only for this person, but also for them. But they don't see how you being, I don't know, more distanced or more focused on other things, they don't see it as good for them at all, because they only feel like they're not getting what they want, maybe. And it feels like once you work on this, you start to attract the right frequency, the right thoughts, also the right ideas about things. You'll get inspiration, you'll get so much more out of life, also more variety. Even change itself can be very healthy. Just change, different environments, experiment things, a bit more freedom. Because even if this person isn't always with you, it seems like they're so dependent, or they're so, at least they're so accustomed and used to your energy, giving them the nurturing and the companionship they need, that they're really unaware. They don't even consider anything else. And it seems like you working on that is also helping them work on themselves. It's very, very complex, okay, this reading. It seems like there are a lot of, that I could unpack this reading. There are a lot of dimensions to this relationship, or to this issue, to this problem, because I feel like this is also about your relating function. So this can just have a lot of ramifications in your life. So this is a very, very complex situation that I also feel like is like an ongoing learning process for you. So don't worry if you feel defeated sometimes, or if you feel like things aren't working out, because don't blame yourself, and don't fall into any sort of desperation or defeatist attitude, because you have to think that that's only a reflection of some other person's development. A big chunk of this is not about you, is more about the other person just growing into a different space, a different dimension of their own lives. And once you see the little clues that they're developing, you will also feel more freedom. But I feel like things are happening in your life that are going to show you that this is very important. Like this is that this is a subject, that this is something that you can't really escape from with the Tower here. Tower is also the highest, the house of God, and traditionally. So, and when I see this, the all-seeing eye, I get this feeling of kind of being stripped from unnecessary ornamentation, let's say, and the situation just gets this really bare, even cruel light that shines upon it and shows you the very crude, the very the grit of it, the warts, the flaws. And it's a bit cruel. The moment is a bit cruel, but it is true. And sometimes that's how we grow. And that's how we also embrace God's will in our life, because this is also about the divine's intervention in your fortune, in your luck, and how you with your consciousness choose the right thing for you. Oh, but there, not only the right thing for you, but also the right thing for others, because this is about serving also. And it's this, maybe there's a kind of a paradoxical situation here also, where you serve the other person by not indulging them. You can serve others by not indulging them.